Hello, everybody. It's Darren Monroe, and we are live. Here's the thing. I want to thank everybody for being here. This is going to be a rare moment. Those of you in the Clarity group, thank you for being here and supporting. Report any of the trolls because I'm going to basically let the trolls just do whatever they do and keep talking. This is going to be a special moment because I've never really shared this type of stuff before. It's going to be a very detailed piece of information that you're going to get from me, so that way you'll understand what's really going on, and it should help you not only through what you're dealing with Trumpism. This is how to go from Trumpism to triumph, and how to really come up in a way that makes you feel 1,000% better. Okay, so big hello to all of my Clarity Group members, all of the people who subscribe to YouTube. Thank you very much. This is a very rare moment. And what we're going to talk about is quite a bit here. Let me show you. Well, first of all, I'm here downtown Chicago, 30 flights in the air. It is midnight, October 2nd, midnight Chicago time, Central Time. And I'm going to cover a lot of stuff today. I'm going to go through a lot today. So let me see if I can't change the thing here. I'm going to go through this. This is everything I'm going through. Who I am, how I got in the music film business. If you don't know, I have 30 years marketing, branding experience in the music industry. I'm going to be talking about hard times. I'm going to be talking about the radio business, how I went through Hurricane Katrina, how I started an online business, how I got into Kamala Harris's campaign last year, the election, talking about the decision I had to make, Trump's 36-week pattern, which is a good thing, the real data. I'm going to talk about the left's big weakness. There are three ignorant truths that all of you are dealing with. I'm going to be talking about our greatest opportunity in the next 170 weeks. I'm going to be talking about decoding the drama, identifying the data, developing ourselves in 170 weeks, and what you're ingesting. So we got a lot to go through. And I'm going to start breaking things down in a way that nobody else ever has. Now, while we got people on here, and it's not a lot, it's about 65 people on here as we speak and growing, I want you to all take a moment and tell me where you're from. Just tell me where you're from. So far, I see one guy, Teddy Bear from Texas. I see another person, Nitosha from California. If there's any Clarity members in here, sound off. All right, say hello for a quick moment. Let me know. Put in Clarity if you're a member of the Clarity group and I recognize you. You know who you are. You know who you are. Big welcome to everybody. Where are you coming in from? Where are you coming in from? We got North Carolina. We got Omaha. We got Jersey. We got San Diego. We got Massachusetts. We got another New York. We got Georgia. We got Chicago. Hey, C Temptation. What's going on? That is Chloe. If y'all see C Temptation, definitely follow her as well. She's a member of the Clarity Group, and she has political conversations. She's here in Chicago. From Colorado, we got, who else do we have? We got a couple of people out here. Is that you, Jules? When I think of Omaha, I think of you now, Jules. Hey, it's good to see you on here. Dallas, Texas. Who else we got? Los Angeles. We got Jay from Arkansas. We got Florida. We got Illinois. We got Los Angeles. We got Gary, Indiana. Hey, Troy, what's going on? That's you, TJ Render. Okay, Troy, what's going on? It's good to see. We got Clarity Family in here. All right. Who else we got? Kimmy, what's going on? Thank you for being here. And I hope you're doing well and recovering. Brandon, what's going on? Brandon from VA, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you here. Well, of course, closed part of the Clarity Group. And if you wonder what the Clarity Group is, click the link in the homepage of my YouTube channel. It is on sale right now. You can get in there. Francis from New Mexico, what's going on? Francis, it's good to see you. Clarity fam in here. Jason, New York is in here. Zoe, how you doing? Boy, you hit me with some good questions. I'm gonna do a clarity report on that. Zoe brought up some real good questions about autism, and I thought they were brilliant. And she gave me the okay to share a little bit of a story and my answers to that, Clarity family. So I'll be sending you that. We got Detroit in the town. We got Modesto. Modesto. Every time I think of Modesto, I think of uh I think of the fools. I think of Ice Cube. Ice Cube. I think of Ice Cube. Modesto. You west. You out west of me. I'm here in Chicago. You over in Aurora, but you by way of Aurora. So are you in Aurora or are you in Alabama? C Green, what's going on out of Houston? We got some Clarity family. Lorraine's up in here from the Clarity family. Again, if you want like to join the Clarity group, it's on sale right now. Click the link in the YouTube. We got Philly in here. Philly. Who else we got? We got ATL in here. Hi, Yolanda. How you doing? We got a little bit of everybody in here. So we got SoCal here. What's going on, Queen? It's SoCal. All right. Are you from Birmingham, Vanessa in Birmingham? Denise, I love the way you're thinking, brother. First time joining. Thank you. This is my first live. This is my first live on YouTube. Usually I do several lives a week. Tomorrow, well, today, technically, Thursday, 7 p.m., we're doing a book club review of Kamala Harris's. We're doing a book club discussion. And if you want to join the Clarity group. Excuse me. I'm usually asleep, or at least trying to. Talanda's up in here. What's going on, Talanda? What's going on, Toe? How you doing? How you doing? Denise out of Chicago is here. Oh my goodness, we got a whole crew, full crew in there. Wanda, what's going on? In Alabama, 6 years now. Oh, okay. I was gonna say you didn't go from Alabama to Aurora. Oh my God, no, you didn't. All right. What's happening? Isn't this your second? My second what? Q, let's see. I watch all your videos on here on YouTube. Oh, thank you. Definitely, everybody, you want to get into my Clarity group, it's on sale right now. You can click the link in the YouTube. So let's get into some business because I said we're going to start dropping things down and really start breaking down a lot of information. I'm so glad to have all of you here. Thank you, YouTubers, for supporting me here. I greatly appreciate all the love. I really do. I appreciate it. I'm basically going to go through a lot right now and break it down. First of all, I want you to not be worried. Calm down, then calm down. I want you to understand that the biggest challenges that we're dealing with right now, and I'm going to go through a lot here, answering things, and I want you to understand the biggest challenges that we're having is more mental than everything, okay? It's not about what they're doing. It's not about what they say. It's all about you showing up like you need to. And same thing I said to you, Justin, about that situation I emailed you on. That's another Clarity member. Hey, listen, bruh. You can't change people. You can only change you. Watch, I'm going to walk you through everything. Who am I? I'm a guy. You see Chicago. I'm a native New Yorker raised in Chicago. I was born in New York, Mount Vernon, New York. Money earned in Mount Vernon, New York. If you don't know where that's at, that's the town just above the Bronx. So basically, my mother went to New York because she said if she could make it there, she'll make it anywhere in the 60s. And she ended up making me in 1970. And my mother and father divorced because mom wanted to stop drinking, dad couldn't. And I ended up growing up in Chicago on the South Side, all about the White Sox, the hell with the Cubs, even though I live downtown Chicago. And I give the Cubs fans as much hell as I possibly can because that's what us Cubs, that's what us White Sox fans do. Real South Sider. We basically talk about the Cubs, but we're rooting for them on behalf of Chicago and the playoffs. But under our breath, we're like these dirty motherfuckers. My mother was a teacher for 40 years, and she ended up becoming the first black woman board member of the intern board here in Chicago for the Board of Education. She was a teacher for 40 years. She used to lobby downstate for money, the whole nine. It was her interest in politics that brought mine, but it was also an interest in activism. See, in the 60s, before she went to New York, she decided to march with Martin Luther King. And King came up here to Chicago to train people to go down there. And this is right after those three students got lynched. Unfortunately, it was two black students and a white Jewish cat who got lynched. And if you've seen the movie Mississippi Burning, you should. It is, it's got William Dafoe and Gene Hackman. It's a really great movie. And she went down after that and was freaked out because this is a true story. My mother in a West Side church getting trained, and Martin Luther King, Dr. King, looks out across the whole crowd and says, "Who here?" And that, that Martin Luther King voice. "Who here is afraid? Who here is afraid?" And my mother, the only one out of the hundreds, raised her little hand. And he looked at her, pointed at her, and said, "Well, that makes two smart people in the room," referring to himself as well. Afterwards, he asked to meet her later on backstage to talk to her. And she was mortified because when she went backstage, it was my grandfather, her father. Apparently, my grandmother, her mom, had convinced her father, "Go down there, go down there. Don't let her go down there with King," because it was certain death. See, here's something that black people we don't talk about this enough. But there were millions of people who hated Dr. King. Yeah, million black people, because they thought he was a rebel rouser, a troublemaker, causing trouble. They didn't think he was great. It's the same way a lot of people attack the Black Lives Matter people who are black. It's one of those things when you're saying something cutting edge. Look at the shirt I'm wearing. In the 60s, there was millions of black people who were looking for Cassius Clay to meet his demise, even though he said his name is Muhammad Ali. Real talk. Real talk. We've had moments. And one of the things is she went backstage. Her dad, my grandfather, was already backstage and convinced him to talk it through about going down south. And Dr. King convinced Ma to let Grandpa go with her. So she had this white Nova. She's driving down there, driving through everything. And I'm going to get to the shutdown and all the other things with Kamala Harris and everything. Promise you, I'm going somewhere with this. And I just wanted to tell the whole story. And then, sure enough, she was driving down there, and they were worried about those roadblocks, same roadblocks that killed those three students. So here they are driving students over to the march, and there was a roadblock, and my grandfather said, no, punch it. Go through that roadblock. Boom, they went through the roadblock. Bullets flew. Brrr. Turns out it was the FBI. They got shot at by the FBI. My family has had a jacket in the FBI since the 60s. So Martin Luther King, Dr. King comes running over. See what happened? What happened? Turns out it was the FBI afraid that was the Klan. And my mother and grandfather thought they were the Klan. They said, fuck it. Right through the roadblock. It went right through. She told me the only time she went to jail was with Dr. King. And she marched, she stood strong. She was an incredible lady. She passed away in 2001. And I'm going to tell y'all something deep about that for a minute. Social Security. There's a video on here in YouTube. Social Security killed my mother. Social Security in 2001 kept refusing to give my mother her benefits. She was 66 years old. She was more than prepared to, she hadn't broke any rules. And she was a frail lady. She was having a hard time. And it killed my mother. And I'll never, ever forget that. Never, ever forget that. The stress she had in her heart over that. I would not trust from that moment on. I was 31. And I would never, ever trust the Social Security system ever again. That's how I always started plotting to get myself free and get myself doing my own thing. That's the major thing. I want you to understand. You cannot depend on Social Security. That's why in my link here in my channel, there's something called the money makers. You cannot depend on Social Security. That's social insecurity. They're pimping you for your money. Seriously. They're pimping you for your money. Okay? Quick hello to Brenda, to Sharon, Sunbreakables. Thank you very much. Team Pairs, I want you to understand. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. Hi, Frank. Hello. What's going on, Denise? Hey, listen, understand. Real talk. You can't depend on that. So I started working for me at one point, trying to work for me. And what happened was this. I was going back to college after my father died in 1996, 5 years earlier. And we buried him in New York. I'm the son of a veteran and the son of World War II veteran. So my mother's father was World War II Pacific campaign, Purple Heart and everything. My father was Korean War, also both armies. So I really am the son and grandson of veterans. And the cousin of a KIA Marine veteran um, um, from Vietnam. And because of my eyes, I couldn't, back then. These days, they probably take anybody, but you know what I mean. If you've been you know what I'm saying. They're more accepting of people with glasses, but back then it was like, oh no, I'd be 4F, as they said, and I didn't want to be anyway. I wasn't material for that. I always wanted to run my own business, be in a band. I was a geeky guy, man. I grew up on the South Side, but I grew up with gangsters, but they didn't grow up with me. Seriously. I didn't want to, no way. Wanda, that's amazing. Your cousin went to jail with Dr. King. My mother went to jail with Dr. King. Um, but I'll tell you like this, and thank you for that, Rhonda. Um, I want you to understand the bigger pictures here. And I'm just giving people background about me, Tony, so I haven't really gone into the updates. But that's the type of place and family I come from. My sister worked on a King holiday with Stevie Wonder. That's because she's one of his attorneys, longtime attorneys. There we go with the troll. I was waiting for the troll to come in. As soon as they call the conehead or they call me names, go ahead and report the troll. Let's get on the troll on out. You had to have the troll out. They always come in with that stuff. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. uh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Um, Forget what Hex says, Tracy. That's ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous. We're not gonna go down that ridiculousness. Keep your ears open instead of posting in here. Just take it easy and keep it open. All right. That's the whole idea. That's right. Let's dump the Trump troll, Frank. Just hear me out, Tracy, on this. So the whole thing is that I come from a rebel family. My sister right now is working on a documentary with Stevie Wonder about how they got a King holiday. There's been a fight. She's a lawyer of 45 years, but she's also a former Panther as well. She was part of the Panthers over there as well. All right. Um, I know people want to have questions answered, but I got a lot of insight. EJ, I just can't answer you directly on that. I want you to understand very clearly what's going on, okay? Just hold on, keep focused, all right? Coming from a family like that, I ended up working on Obama's campaign. But before that, I just want you to understand. I ended up in the music business going back to school after discovering all the trouble my dad had to go through. So I want you to understand very clearly that the bigger picture that was happening here is we were basically dealing with a scenario where I was going through the music business. I worked for Universal DreamWorks, MCA, Warner Brothers, Sony. My last job was at iHeartMedia. Back then, they called it Clear Channel. Jay-Z, Eminem, Limp Bizkit, Nelly Furtado, The Roots, and 200 of some of the most famous people before they were famous. Not only just stuff on the wall, but a lot of things. I worked in distribution. That was the lifestyle and college rep here in Chicago. They made a job for me, opportunity. I talked myself into that opportunity. And I just want you to understand that it's all about people being able to understand the bigger picture. And what it comes down to in the bigger picture is that there's a bigger picture happening right now that gives you the greatest development ever. So let's go into that for a minute, okay? Um, well, before I go into that, I just want to finish up this background thing. Radio times. What happened was after I had the music business job, people were losing jobs in the business. I was one of them. I lost jobs in the business, okay? And that's the thing. And I think I accidentally deleted someone. If I deleted anybody accidentally, I apologize. I'm moving quick. But here's the thing. What I'm basically trying to tell you is that at one point, as of today, this morning, 23 years ago, I was sleeping in a car. I'm 30 flights up, downtown Chicago, luxury building. 23 years ago, I was sleeping in a car, waiting for my place to get ready at the the YMCA. I never forget. And it fell out with family. It was looking pretty rough. And one of the things that most people don't know is I went through that, and they also don't understand that, the Katrina thing. I'll get to that in a minute. So I had a friend I worked at radio with who used to intern with me, and they were really happy, and they connected with me, and they were, happy that they had found a job down in New Orleans. So they said, Darren, would you like to come down to New Orleans? And I said, yeah, let's do it. So I took on a assistant production, what was it again? Director position. God, what was it? Assistant promotions director. And I took that job and I ran with it. Online contesting. If there's anybody there, I certainly come a long way, Rhonda. Um, I basically took that job and was doing on-air contesting for Q93, FM 98, and Amen 940 if anybody's from New Orleans. Yes, I knew Wayne and Roe and Angela and all them, worked with them. Great people. And the late great C.J. Morgan, Papa Smurf, whole bunch of great people. And then this hurricane came called Katrina. Man, I ain't know nothing about. I'm from Chicago. I don't know nothing about no hurricane, y'all. I'm allergic to dying. I know that. So I'm sitting there like, oh my God. I went from New Orleans to up in Memphis. Anybody from Memphis up in here? I'm in Memphis. I was at a hotel in Memphis. Then I went over to San Antonio. Anybody in San Antonio over here? I was in the in-town suites in San Antonio. And I said, you know what? I'm not going back. I'm going to have to I'm going to have to step away because this is a problem. This is a problem. I'm allergic to dying. I can't be doing this. I can't be doing this. So what I ended up doing is going from there to being able to go in there. Hey, Xenia, you became a Diamond member. Hello, Diamond member. Nice to see you, Diamond member. Hello, Diamond member. How are you, Diamond member? Get inside the clarity group too. That's why I can really talk because YouTube won't let me really talk. Because when I start on from the Kamala part, and I'm almost there. When I get to the Kamala part, I'm gonna have to be talking in between the lines before they end up jumping on me. And Z is a diamond member. Glad to have you as a diamond member. So here's the thing, diamond member. Um, that alert came up. That's why I did that, everybody. I'm like, it came up. It's like, oh, she's a diamond member. But if you click the homepage of YouTube, you can see Clarity Group. That's where the deep conversations happen. That's why we got several Clarity members up in here. I hope I didn't accidentally kick some people out. Let me make sure I'm doing that right. All right. Kimmy, I accidentally kick you out. I'm sorry. So here I am, man, running away from Hurricane Katrina. And they talking about come back to Baton Rouge. Anybody in Baton Rouge? I'm like, Baton Rouge? Ain't nothing in Baton Rouge. Everybody's in Baton Rouge or in Houston because they're running from a hurricane. Millions of people. You ain't going back to no damn Baton Rouge. Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Y'all, man, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. Oh, you were before? Oh, okay. See, you should get into Clarity Group. You really like it there. We got all sorts of private conversations happening there. Um, that I can talk about openly that I don't have to talk between the lines on. So here I am deciding I'm gonna start an online biz and teach people all sorts of stuff, radio, music, because I had a background playing piano, bass, and I just, I thought that, it was crazy. There's a Panthers museum, Denise, if you're talking about Black Panthers, and Huey Newton's wife has a museum in Oakland. So that's a plan where I'm going out there too. Oh, Z, you already a clear member? Good. Hit me up in the chat in the back end, Z. Hit me back in the chat and let me know and talk with me. Just talk with me. Talk with me. Talk with me. Just talk with me. So I can talk to you and greet you and say hello. Um, Interesting part about all of this is this. And no, I wasn't flirting with you, by the way. I was being cool. I wasn't flirting. I ain't being creepy now. Um, I ended up teaching people how to get in business because of Bob Proctor. Ever heard of him? The Secret. Really incredible guy. The Secret. Bob Proctor. He has his voice let him talk like this. The late, great Bob Proctor. He said, you ought to teach more people. I said, okay. I started teaching more people. And that turned into more money. I made money, lost money. And thank you, Rhonda. I love you back, baby. One of the things that I discovered down the line was I was working on Obama's campaign while living in Texas, in Dallas. No, Lord, I won't say hi, but hi. But the thing is, I'm in Chicago, right? So I didn't know nothing about no Texas. Texas was crazy, man. Oh my God. So I ended up working in Dallas, and the Obama primary against Hillary Clinton. That was interesting. Oh my God, in a red state. And over the years, I came back home to Chicago after several years, 9 years ago. And when Kamala started doing her thing, I said, oh man, in behalf of my mother who marched with King, I'm going to work on this campaign. And that's exactly what I did. And that's where it's going to get interesting in our conversation. I wanted you to know a little bit more about me, background, everything. You're in Texas now? Run! I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I said that, Tracy. You from Detroit and you in Texas and you're not in jail? You from Detroit? Always mess with Detroit people because of the Pistons, because of the Tigers, because of the Lions. The Lions whipped the hell out of our Bears. But that was a good ass whipping. We had to get that. We had to get that. We had to do it. It had to happen. But let me tell you, when Obama won, man, it was silent as a mouse. I was living in North Dallas. I knew where I was when won. I was mad because I wish I was down here. It was party down here. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm in the wrong place. Damn Dallas. But anyway, so zoom back to 9 years ago. I came back to Chicago, and when Kamala said she's running, oh man, this was great. My heart said, let me go ahead and help. So I joined out there, okay? And sure enough, let's get good old Yuri out of here. Hi, Yuri, time to go. Let's first report you. Hate speech. Report. Yes. Yes, we're going to good on. You going to lose your YouTube account, Yuri. Thick ass glasses. Yep. Here we go. All right, Yuri. Yuri is attacking me. Yuri is harassing and bullying me. Choose one. Yuri is harassing me. Report. I guess Yuri don't care about his account. He's a 12-year-old. And he's coming in. And yes, he's attacking me. And now Isaac is coming in with fake reports. He's coming in with harassing me. And I'll report him too. You know, this is interesting. Here we go. See, these are where the bots and the trolls come in. Okay? These are the bots and the trolls and the bots. Bots and the trolls named Yuri sucks. Yuri sucks attacking me. Yuri sucks and we're gonna hide him. Then there's Isaac. I was talking about. Oh, you were talking about Yuri? I'm sorry. Now you're attacking me. I didn't know Isaac, especially with a name like Isaac Fowlike. I mean, come on, Falky. I thought this was a bad guy. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm glad you said something, Isaac. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You hope you don't get in trouble. I was about to remove you. Oh, so here's the thing. I decided to work on Kamala's campaign, part of the engagement team. It was a secret group of people. We had secret discords. See, we were even on X, had secret X communications, the whole nine. You know, back when X was at least something you might want to talk to. It was pretty cool. And the whole idea was spread the message out there so we can get more clarity out there. We thought that the centered campaign, we were getting a lot of centrists, it would be working, it would really work. We knew that he was going to try to do some to snatch the you-know-what and steal the you-know-what, which I can't say because YouTube too much of a punk ass to tell the truth on. Oh yeah, I'm about to give. Please share this. Now would be the time to share this because I'm getting ready to really start dropping tea, but I got to talk in between the words. It's the reason why I got a clarity group where I can really talk. So y'all definitely want to get in that clarity group. Link is in my profile over on YouTube. You can find it in basically every video I got. It's in the description. It was getting real interesting. I think the biggest thing I began to notice over time that I didn't know since joining in July is that there was this weird civil war going on with Democrats. We knew something was up. Obama did not come in. Thank you, techie girl. Obama did not come in. And Blue Sky got weird, Tracy, because they're doing weird stuff. I'm not feeling them. I tried to be on there. I do have an account there. I do have an account on Substack, but it's something about control that I would rather have our own group, you know. That's the thing. Thank you, Infinite Lightning. You know, our group is privatized. Our group is easier, you know. Hey, Natasha, what's going on, girl? I didn't know that was you. What's going on, girl? It's good to see you. You said you were coming back. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm just gonna break down a few key things to you. And thank you everybody who came in. BG, Brandon, thank you for coming in. I'm about to start dropping tea, y'all. Here we go. Y'all ready? Please share this because I'm about to drop some tea with y'all. Something weird was going on with that campaign, y'all. Here's the thing. One of the things that we began to see is that people who were supposed to be supporting us wasn't supporting us, and it's coming out through her book. We're doing a book discussion in the Clarity Group tonight for everybody that's joined. We're doing it tonight at 7 p.m. Central, and we're gonna talk about some things. We're gonna talk about some things for real. Next 19 hours from now. But I'm gonna break it down to you like this. There was some weird shit going on, and we were all seeing it numbers wise as we were getting closer to the conversation. And I want you to understand this is gonna last longer than 15 minutes, Brandon. You might just go on to bed, bro. Just go on to bed. You ain't ready for the depth of this. So yeah, I'm gonna say some things I haven't said in the clarity group, but I gotta say it in code. Um, I heard the stories of Obama. We thought maybe it was just some hype. They were just trying to hate on the Democrats. But word got back to me from Chicago, and yeah, there's some things, there's some background, there's some backstory to Obama and Kamala Harris. Kamala's always supported Obama. Obama's always supported her. But there's some backstory there. And one of the things that we began to see, and thank you for that, Natasha Techie, we began to see some truth going on. What's going on, Ernesto, Chicago Nuggies? By the way, that's one of my mentoree young people there, Chicago Nuggies. He's great. I'm going to do an interview with him by this weekend because Chicago Nuggies right there, he had some legitimate issues. He was pinned up against the car by ICE. He was literally attacked by ICE last weekend, y'all. Show him some love and follow him. He's a great guy. He does streaming in Chicago. So if you ever want to see cool buildings, including me and downtown where he's stalking me, but don't tell people where I'm at when you point at my building, boy. But I'm just saying, right here, he's somebody I mentor. Great kid. Great kid. There was some weird shit going on when she became president. Like, look at the first 100 and from 100 from the beginning to 100 and roughly, I would say 100. Well, it wasn't even 100. About the 96th day, because it's not by chapters in a book. 107 days is by days. So when it gets to like the top 90 something day, look at that. There was some weird shit going on that got confirmed, and I'm gonna talk about that tonight in our discussion group at 7 p.m. Central. So if you're in the Clarity group, you go in the Clarity group, and then you go under calendar, and you will see that. Okay, that's the thing. There's a lot of things that's out here. You know, one second, got to get rid of one of these fools. Okay, got rid of one of the fools. Anybody else want to come in here and troll me? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. So going forward, I thought I'd have more trolls. Maybe they sleep at night. They sleep. The warlocks sleep at night. Oh, you know. nothing like nothing like making sweet love to your brother or sister just so you can get a good night's sleep. Anyway, point is, there was weird shit happening, and one of the things that I saw, that I was hearing, was the conversations were happening differently among all of the top people. One of the first things I heard while working the campaign is the mention of Pelosi wanting a primary. And I'm like, well, why do you want a primary? And then a lot of these punk ass, a lot of these punk ass creators came out with saying, oh, we should have primaried her. I'm like, really? I'm trying to get you to understand. Oh, here's another one. How's your government system? That's an interesting one. How's your government assistance to be in such a building? Because you know, black people can't be in buildings downtown. No, no way. Yeah. Here's the thing. So basically, I knew there was some other ones that were gonna come out. Oh, and what I began to see was like, whoa, wait a minute. Democrat Party ain't solid. And this was like before we got to the November election. Why would you want Kamala Harris to be primary in July? There's no fucking way that could happen. There's only two vice presidents in the history of anybody who should be primary. And that was Ford, because he was too much of a punk ass to, impeach Nixon, go after Nixon. And Dan Quayle, who was just a raving idiot. Now, notice I didn't say Dick Cheney. I didn't say Pence. And I don't agree with them. I don't like them politically. But they definitely have the credentials to be vice president, and so did Kamala Harris. I mean, to be president. As vice president, they had the credentials to be president, but so did Kamala Harris. So I was kind of pissed off when these people kept talking about primary from both the political people and the creators. A lot of big creators who had some shit. It got real racial. It got real racial. And then on top of that, I had a lot of people. That's why I'm worried about the trolls here. I get my life threatened every day. And what's crazy is that these people who come out, who basically, call me a liar for saying the things I was saying, and I'm like, now it's all become true. Seriously. Seriously. And I'm like, wow. Okay. Exactly. Seriously. That was something that got me. I was like, damn. So I was seeing that. Then I was seeing the misogyny, ladies. From other women too. I had a friend I let go. She said, the last thing in the world we need is a woman running the presidency. I was like, okay, I'm done with you. And then I was hearing the whole, you're going to let all the immigrants in, the xenophobia that was happening. Then I was hearing the whole, people who were coming at me over saying, I don't know enough about her. That's usually code word for I don't want to work for the black. I don't want to have that black and Indian woman married to the Jewish president. Seriously. It was on and on. Then we caught up to the election, and we knew something was going on because he was hitting around. Oh, there's something weird that's gonna have me. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be a weird thing. I don't debate. Fuck debating. And I'm against any of the left side people who want to debate anyway. Nobody has time to argue with MAGA people. Nobody has time for that. We're too busy on business. We don't have time for that. Fuck that debating shit. Whether you're on my side or not, nobody got time to talk about shit. Nobody has time to talk about shit. Listen, this is debate-free zone. Y'all want to see a debate? Y'all go find somebody debating. We don't do no debating here. We don't have time for debating. We got to move. We got to get shit done. And I'm going to break down what we need to be doing. I'm just giving you the whole picture because this is the first time I've been live on YouTube. So I'm going to keep this on here so people can hear it later. But the idea is fuck debating. Ain't nobody thinking about debating. I want to debate you. I got a problem with left creators doing that stupid shit. You mean tell me all this stuff we doing? Seriously. Seriously. That's the whole thing. Can I help you buy a laptop for your services? No. Come on, really? Can I help you? Okay. The major difference is one side, Melvin, that's a good question. What's the difference between Democrats and Republicans? One side has no conscience, the other one has no courage. That's what I'm discovering after working Kamala's campaign and afterwards. Seriously. That's what I discovered. Here's the thing. Don't waste your time trying to debate right. Don't waste your time trying to debate the left. Here's what I discovered. In the last year, since July, year plus, the biggest problems I discovered were not on the right. I knew what they were about. It's the ones on the left, y'all. Seriously. There's the one on the left. And I'm not kidding. There is a difference. The difference is the left has a conscience and understands and believes in diversity, but they don't deal with their own issues that they have with prejudice, racism, misogyny, homophobia, xenophobia. The right deals with it and hates and exerts it because they like it, but they have no conscience. The left doesn't have the courage to stand up for the conscience that they claim to have. Period. We're not going to change the subject. And I agree. Kimmy's right. No debating when you have untrained ICE in the streets beating people up. That's ridiculous. All right? Seriously. Here's the thing I'm trying to tell everybody is this. What I discovered from this election was not just that the you-know-what was stolen, because the numbers weren't right. And after the election, a lot of us got together and started talking on the engagement team. We're like, wait a minute, there are 4 states that didn't seem right. North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. She should have killed those. She should have killed those. If not anybody else, if not a full sweep, those should have been done. We can talk all about the elections and the Starlink. We ain't going down that route here because I'm not getting my YouTube canceled like others have. I will say this, get in the Clarity group. But here's the other thing I got a problem with. And that brings me from the alarmists of the breaking news. Everything's, happening, but they give no context, no subject, to the conspiracy people who are still stuck on the election, but they ain't doing shit to help the cause right now. If you notice, you've seen something called ESGN. All the Clarity people and the people who know it in YouTube who follow me, put in ESGN. Put in ESGN in the comments, please. ESGN, ESGN, ESGN. Those of you who are new, who don't know what that means, I'm going to break this down to you, what that is. Put in ESGN, everybody who's on here. ESGN, even if you don't know, put it on there, ESGN. Because I'm going to break that down and let you know what that really means. And you'll thank me later. ESGN, put it in there. ESGN. ESGN. That's an acronym, y'all. It's an acronym. ESGN is an acronym. And that's the focus everybody on the left should have. It stands for Epstein, gerrymandering, and no King's Day. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. The idea is that we're focusing on what matters most. That's what it comes down to. And I want you to understand what that means right now. I had to make a decision and get out of the conspiracy because I was hoping she'd come back too, right before he become president. But I realized she wasn't coming back. It ain't happening. And let me break it down to you like this as we go into that. The idea is we had a decision to make, and some people, it took longer decisions than others, who went right down that road over and over and over again. All of that. That was just a hot mess. It was about trying to figure out how do we get together and fight. And here's where the good news comes in, okay? This is where I start really laying stuff down to you. Because now we're going to talk about Trump's 36-week pattern. He has one. He has a tail. He has a tail. His 30-week, 6-week pattern. And then we're going to talk about um we're going to talk about the following here. What Ernesto just put in Chicago Nugget. We're going to talk about Kamala's pathway to presidency. But in between there, we got to talk about a few other things. Okay? So the first thing we're going to talk about is how he tried to get rid of those inspector generals. And he tried to get rid of them like a fool. This shows you it's just by loyalty, and he doesn't know what he's doing, and his people don't know what they're doing. Because the president does have the right to get rid of any of the inspector generals he wants. Only catch, you got to give him 30-day notice. If he had given them 30-day notice, it would have been done. It would have been done. And he didn't. Here's the other thing I want you to understand, and this is another part of this lesson here. What he repeatedly tried to do was push the narrative. And I know it freaks you the fuck out. The reason it freaks you the fuck out comes down to this, okay? It's just your ability. Your ability. Thank you, Kimmy. It's your ability to understand this, okay? These core things. The reason what Trump's doing is freaking you out is because you don't realize that on the left, we got three truths about the ignorances on the left. We don't know the history of our government, how our government works, and the laws of our government. And that way, when he says he's going to sign into executive order something, here's the reality. It doesn't mean shit. I want you to understand. It doesn't mean jack. So when I'm telling you right now, when you're freaking out over this fool, what you have to understand is that he has a pattern that he keeps repeating over and over and over and over again. And the exciting part about that to me is this. I figured out a way where we can decode his drama, where we can find out what the real data is, and what we can do in the long run is develop ourselves. You got to understand, our greatest opportunity is in the next 170 weeks. And I just recently figured this out. Because, yeah, Democrats aren't on our side, at least not the congressional Democrats. See, there are three groups that fought for us, and I repeatedly tell you this. 23 governors and attorney generals, hundreds of nonprofits like the ACLU, Indivisible, NAACP. Yes, black folks have been doing their thing. But then there's this third group of people who are the lower court judges. And for those who freak out over that shit, think about it like this. The Supreme Court only handles 1%. The lowercase court judges, 94 districts across 50 states, have been handling it. And that doesn't mean all the judges, but there's 677 judges. And what we've seen in the 36 pattern of Trumpism is that out of the now 880 cases that have been involved, with 700 still active, 180 of them, he's lost to 140. Now, Clarity people, I know you've heard this before, and thank you for hanging in there, but understand what's really going on. The bigger picture is you being able to do this. That's right, Ernesto. Post, edit. All right? And I want you to understand what the bigger picture is that this is all about your ability to understand that he's taking narrative warfare on you. In the Clarity group, I teach narrative warfare every Tuesday, ever since No King's Day, June 14th, because what he did was brilliant. I might bomb Iran. I could bomb Iran. I will bomb Iran. I've bombed Iran. You know what that did to the No King's Day? Whoop! 10 million people. We need better marketing. And how do we do better marketing? By spreading the word more of these videos. Not just mine, but anybody you're agreeing with who's sharing the truth about the shutdown. The shutdown, if we don't keep that shutdown shut down, Thousands of people could lose their lives in Medicaid, Medicare. Benefits are already going up. Things are going outside the door. It's a fight. But I want to bring you back to a center here. And that's the biggest thing. We don't control that fight. We can only contribute to it. Like I said, talking to the people who are there. Oh, Brandy, you still here? I'm glad you're still here, brother. Talking to our Congress, getting involved with Indivisible, getting involved with ACLU. Yes, these are activist things and being activated. That is fantastic. Seriously. But one of the biggest things we have to do is continue to move forward. Kimmy, what you're doing on TikTok is something that's very important. You got an ability to reach more people than the average person. That's the biggest thing. More so than your activism with ICE. And right now, what has to happen, Kimmy, is staying strong on the shutdown conversation. Because the Republicans are trying to turn the message. You and Chrissy and all of the people, Chloe, if she's still on here, these are the people who need to, if you have a following, social media, or even if people are listening to you, you have to. Okay? I want you to understand this. This is all about your ability to get this moving in the right direction. I really wish, Kimmy, you hadn't done that and you got them to go over to YouTube or Instagram. Your message is very important. But here's the thing. I want you to understand, all of you. Okay? Hey, Montgomery, Alabama. What's going on, brother? How you doing? I want you to understand the biggest picture that I'm trying to get all of you to grab onto is that there are specific things you can do. The biggest picture I want all of you to grab onto is this. What can you do beyond what you can do? And here's my answer to that. What you can do beyond what you can do right now is focus like hell on you. Ask yourself this. What are you ingesting right now? Thoughts become words, words become actions, actions become habits, habits become character, and character becomes your destiny. This whole thoughts and words become things, even if you heard it before. It is true. Oh, I'm sorry, America. Or is it America? I'm sorry, my sister. Hello, Columbus, Georgia. Ask yourself, what are you ingesting? Are you listening to the alarmists who are telling you breaking news with no context? Are you listening to the conspiracy theorists who are still talking about the election but no sort of plan or decision or anything? Are you still listening to the doomsday people who are saying, we become a dictatorship? No, we're a dictatorship. You'll know it. But when people like myself and others who are talking, it's not a dictatorship, it's a wannabe dictatorship. Understand that. I want you to understand the bigger picture too. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's the biggest picture? That's right. That's right, Jennifer. Here's the thing. I like Midas Touch. Midas Touch is cool, Jennifer. I ain't gonna say that about Midas Touch because they do have perspective. All three of them brothers do have perspective. They do. You notice I never ever talk about Midas Touch because I like them. They try. They really do. They try to come with a perspective. So I do respect them. But I'll say like this, man. Here's the problem I'm having is that we have conspiracy people who are coming up with conspiracy stuff, doom and glooms of being negative, all doom and gloom, and telling you the world is bad. The other thing is having these people come in, and you got to think about this for a minute. It's really interesting. Having these people come in and do this, the question remains sometimes whether they are really on the left side or are they working for the right. And I'm not saying that, I'm just saying think about it. Here's the biggest thing I learned in the last year. I'm starting to think that these Palestinian people may not have all been Palestinian people going to Kamala Harris's campaign. I was open to that a little bit, saying maybe it was Trump, but now more than ever, they're starting to go to Kamala Harris's book club. Now, those tickets cost $100 plus. This does not sound like Palestinian people, the Palestinian protesters. Why would you spend all that money to go after her when Trump's talking about Trump Gaza? This sounds like a setup. Somebody got you there, and you put some money out there. I think that Trump's people was behind that. I think the MAGA people were behind that. Just to show her up. We got some problems. We do. We do. We got some problems. But I want to say it like this. There's only so much we can do. What is it that you are doing for you? Like the old saying, you and I got to do for you and I. What are you doing for you? That's what I want to really go through this for the rest of this video on. Ask yourself, what are you ingesting? Are you ingesting the alarmists, the conspiracists, the doomsday people? Or what are you listening to in general? Well, let's talk about this. What could you be listening to? Obviously me, but then there's other creators you can go for that are talking with perspective and context and assessment. There are a lot of them out there. In addition to that, how are you getting a happier, peaceful life, a more peaceful life? In other words, when you get up in the morning, what are you thinking? Here's what I want you to do. When you go to sleep, when you go to sleep, get up and think to yourself. First thing you think when your feet hit the ground is, what am I thinking? What good music can you play for yourself? By the way, Clarity family, I'm getting ready to start sharing my Spotify list. I'm about to go crazy with it. What good music are you playing? What smell good candles or incense are you burning? What are you putting out there that's of strength of worthy? What are you doing that is encouraging more of you? What are your favorite artists? Who's your favorite musicians? Who's your favorite movies? Who's your favorite actors? When's the last time you binge watched them? When's the last time you had a moment where you just watched movies? Just shut it all off, me included, and just watch movies, have fun. When's the last time you went out? Last Friday I was out with my nephew. I got two great nephews by my niece and nephew kids, and they're both newborn babies, old, both of them less than 2 years old. And, I'm just enjoying time with them. Went out for brunch with one, and went over the house of the other. And what are you doing for your health, Brian? I know I'm fat. I got it, but I'm losing weight, and I got this treadmill over here. You're gonna hear me talking from a treadmill. I'm working on getting healthier. Think about it like this: for the next 170 weeks, anybody can lose all the weight they want. They can get all the money that they want in 170. I'm talking from, listen, click the link in my profile in YouTube and go over to Money Makers and see that video. You could get more money than you ever wished in 170 weeks. Seriously, in the first 4 to 6 weeks, you can get your first couple of thousand per month if you listen to me. And no, you're not doing anything creepy and scammy. You're just holding up a camera like this and talking. That's all you do. You just talk. It's possible. Um, the other thing you could be doing is getting your best and your favorite comedies. I'm not saying ignore what's going on, but I am saying invest more into being happier, being more at peace with yourself. It might be just walking outside. Somebody in the clarity group was like, hey, we just walk outside. I say, yeah, that would be great. Walk outside. Spend time somewhere with some coffee, drinking, have a good time. Drinking some coffee, a walk. I'm working on the physical part. But the mental part is all about what you ingest in your mind. What you ingest, you profess. Thoughts really become things. See, motivation does not create a different life. Zig Ziglar said motivation is like bath. He recommends one daily. It's your habits that really bring you up to where your speed and where you're going in life. That's the major difference. Here's the other thing. Stop caring what people think about you. Stop caring what people think about you. Bernadette, it's okay to be introverted. Look up Brian Tracy. He's one of the most introverted people ever, and he always talks about what it stands for, what's going on, where's life coming in. Understand this. The whole idea is you can actually, and that's the whole idea. You can take in things that make you smile. That's all this is about. Take in things that make you smile, make you happy, and make you upbeat. That's what this is all about. Do what makes you happy. As long as it's legal, you do whatever makes you happy. And my whole point is that no matter what people, whether it be friends, family, whatever have you, you can't change them. You're a grown-ass man. Or a grown-ass woman. Or grown-ass pronoun. You got to get into what makes you smile. The things that cheer you up. I want you to understand that if you're just focusing in on the negativity of his Trumpism, that's what it's all about. That's the big problem. That's the problem. That's all right. I got him, Nathan. I got him. Pro wrestling, there you go. Boxing, I like watching boxing matches and football, And the whole idea is this. Keeping your mind and your body and your soul well, your music playing. If you're not investing in that, if you're not being a guardian of your mind, then you let this bullshit creep in. And what I'm teaching in the clarity group is how do you decode that data? I got a series of trainings coming in the clarity group. You guys know about it in the clarity group. How do you decode the drama and be able to be aware of the data while developing a better you? And that's great that you're watching me. Fantastic. Thank you. Here's the thing I want you to understand is what's making you happy? Cooking, a good conversation, movies. I got a gaming channel I'm starting here on YouTube called Darren Monroe Gaming. Get over and look for that. I'm still, I'm trying to get it. I hadn't put anything out on it, but let me show y'all something. See? It's about to get real, yo. Plus, I got the multimedia over here, and I got another one I got to unbox over here to the left, and I got over here. Real talk. Real talk. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna live my best life. I'm 55 in December, and I'm gonna live my best life. I ain't freaking out over this stuff. Oh, and you said candles? Let me show you something. I've been showing everybody these high wick intensity candles. I love this from Bath and Body Works. I love this, and then they got a spray too. So I got the spray and I got incense going on. I am digging, man. I ain't, here's the thing. You gotta relax. You gotta take it easy. You know, I'm a first generation game player, so I'm all about that. You know. And here's the thing, and I got a treadmill that's I'm going to put out there. You see one of the trolls say, "Go out and run around before you have a heart attack." But I'm just telling you. See, one of these days you're going to see me doing the treadmill over here. You're going to see me doing, you can't see it through here, but the treadmill over here, I'm going to have the treadmill going on too. Seriously. And that's what I encourage people in the Clarity group to do. Let me show you the Clarity group a little bit. This is what I'm talking about. There's a link in there. See the video and join. It's on sale right now. And the whole idea is we got a whole community of people, and it's really great. We always in conversations, okay? Really great energy. We got classrooms. The special trainings aren't up yet, but they're coming. The clarity reports are there. I'm talking about stuff I can't talk about that gets banned from YouTube, whether it be the election math, not mathing, talking about 5 civil wars, 8 different types of Trump investigations that are going on. Then if you want to join me live, we have Tuesday's narrative talking about how PSYOPs going into your mind. We have Thursday. Today, we're going to be doing our second Kamala Harris book discussion club. Okay. 107 days. We call it 107 days between the lines. What's going on? What's going on? Then we have empowering your peace in the midst of Trumpism. How do you get greater peace in your head? And we got narrative warfare, how he's trying to go after your head and just do a mind scrap on you. We got people all over the world, but mainly the United States, but as you see, we got people all over the world, but mainly the United States, across the United States. If I scrolled in on here, you would see it's mostly the United States. All right. Let's see, what else do we have? That's pretty much the base of it. But I also have a money makers group if you're trying to make some money. And I just started this not too long ago, but we have a community there as well. What I want you to understand is this. And by the way, even if you want to laugh, think about this. I don't talk about that enough. But for only $5 a month, you can jump in our laughter group, and we are always keeping it upbeat. It's a Laughter for Liberals group. And the links are in the, and yes, that's actually me with no shirt on. That's crazy. I did that years ago. It was funny when I had hair. To have hair. And we're cracking jokes and having fun. Seriously, what can you do to make you laugh more, smile more, be happier? That's what I want you to do. Have a greater smile. Have greater love for yourself. Understand that. Hey, Lorraine. I want you to understand there's a pathway. Let's go down this route. Let me wrap these decisions up. So basically, I've told you, let's do a real recap here. Who I am, native New Yorker, born in Chicago, the type of mother I came from, father I came from, the son of and grandson of veterans, and a cousin of a KIA veteran out of Vietnam. I went through the music business, the film business, slept in my car, started from a FEMA paid for hotel after I got out of the radio biz. Um, Fled Hurricane Katrina because I'm allergic to dying. I talked about how I got into the online business world and started training people, how Bob Proctor helped me learn how to do that and jump in and help and connect people. Kamala, um, I jumped in after working Obama's campaign in 2008, jumped into Kamala's campaign, one moment, jumped into Kamala's campaign, um, got into the election, got my life threatened every day up until today, to this very day. I made a decision to step out and start helping people. And from that decision in November, carried to April. In April, I ended up starting this group. I started this group in April, the Clarity Group, which you could join. Link is in my YouTube homepage. All right, it's in there. And it's on sale right now. You can get in at either 40 bucks a month or 197 for the year. It's totally worth it. And then I started in May the Moneymakers groups because people are trying to make some money. I don't do a hard push on it. I just like, okay, if you're interested, you're interested. If you're not, you're not. Plus, I got this cool bonus you find out about once you get in the group. It is totally worth it because I've had been running my own business teaching people outside of politics for the longest, but I targeted it towards liberals to get help. And then I started a badass branding group, which is even smaller, more elite. And then I started a for businesses how to stand out. All branding is being unique, y'all. And then the liberal laughter group is just for people who want to laugh, really lighthearted, right? So that's where I went with that. And basically, that allows me, and all these wonderful people who are in the Clarity group allow me to come in and help people and talk to people. So thank you very much. Kamala is coming back, and she's going to be president of the United States in 2028. But you don't have time to reply. You've just been kicked out. Moving forward, what I've also said is, what was his name? PF Goat? Yeah, the goat has left the building. Um, the next thing that happened is that I started decoding what Trump was doing every single week, which was the same thing. And that's what I teach in the Clarity Group. He floods the zone. He comes with bullshit at the beginning and at the end of the week. And the great part about that is that we know his play. Then we can go ahead and decode his bullshit, come with real data, and what I've also discovered is that the left has a challenge. This is why people are freaked out. They don't know enough history of the government, how the government works, and the laws of the government. If you know that, you understand that, and you grab that, you should feel more comfortable. You should never ever fear what you do not know. False. All false. You should never do that. And when you decode the drama and you identify the data, you end up thinking about something important. That is, you control yourself. You control you. Fuck everything else. You control you. And the thing you got to control is what's going into your head, to your thoughts, that brings words. There's power, there's curse and blessing in your tongue. I'll say that again. There's curse and blessing in your tongue. Let's take a little tour. I'm going to end this off with a tour. So, you've been hearing me say certain things, right? And there's a reason for that. Because I live by my words because I put words around my home. Now, the reason you haven't heard me, the reason some of you know this, I went through a flood. And the building had a flood. So let's look here. Here's the building. Here's everything. Looks great, right? Here's a saying I'm putting up on my wall right here. I can put it up there. Notice I've been saying that. Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words before they become your actions. Watch your actions because they become your habits. And your habits become your character. And your character becomes your destiny. I don't just talk it, I live by it. I put it on my wall. Okay? Let me show you some of these other things. I show you these things on the wall, but let's talk. This album, All Things Fall Apart, The Roots, I actually worked that album. I was one of the first people in the world to promote Jill Scott. You don't know who she is? She's a great artist. Literally one of the first people, because I was one of the first interns at Hidden Beach. My favorite hip hop artist of all time, Common. And he went gold immediately on MCA, but I worked on this project too, and it recently became platinum. And these are not our RIAAs. There are three types of plaques. One, you get plaques for streaming, one from the RIAA, and the third one from distribution. I worked in distribution. This is Floetry, one of the coolest duos ever. This is Erykah Badu. I worked on her second album. Down here, I still gotta hang it up, is Jay-Z. I'm trying to put the walls. Yes, I did work Blueprint, but I worked basically 3-4 of his albums, something like that. But I also keep around me, I'm getting ready to hang this up on the wall. I haven't put it up there yet, so it's sitting along the pillows and stuff. Work hard, focus more, keep grinding, dream big, eliminate doubt, never quit. Stay hungry, overcome rejection, no excuses. Set goals, fearless, hustle, always be humble, and take risk. Well, like I said, we went through a storm. A flood. So I have one on core values. I have one on millionaire mindset. Take a screenshot there. Take a screenshot on the core values. It's funny, Monique, if you still on it, Monique was taking screenshots like, hold on, let me take a screenshot. One on millionaire mindset. One on zero talent. Okay. And this is where I was burning the incense and stuff. I gotta clean it up. Success. It says zero with I want. Remember, your words and thoughts become things. When you already imagine it's there, imagine what happens. And I know some of you have heard of these before. The grind, the execute, the hustle. And again, they're going up on the wall, but again, I just got these. I'm just getting back to everything, y'all. For real. Literally. Back to everything. Back to life. Back to reality. What are you living in your world? What are you taking in your head? Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, his health is declining. And I'm not wishing any badness on that man. No more than I did Charlie Kirk. Seriously. No more than I did on Charlie Kirk. Use liberal talk groups to know what's about to happen. No, I got the ultimate group, the clarity group. We don't need liberal talk groups. The problem is you get some of our liberal friends in there who become alarmists or conspiracy or doomsday people, or they're worried about shit that you don't need to be worried about. That's the biggest problem we have right now on the left. That's the thing. That's the thing. Ah, there we go. I always know this. I was waiting for the Lavelle Crawford comment. They're talking about the big black dude from Breaking Bad. Great comedian, too. So I either get called that or Rick Ross, Conehead. I'm getting all of the calls. I'm getting all the calls. But I want all of you to think about that because in the clarity group, I really am coming up with some trainings. Let's go back to that. I'm going back to some trainings, y'all, in here on the classroom. They're not there yet, but special trainings on how do you begin to think the way that you're thinking. Thoughts become things. It's one thing to have clarity reports talking about stuff that social media won't let you. And all of the live replays that we have in here, it's one thing to do that. And there's a lot of them, as you see. But it's another thing to go into how do we train you to think better about this with greater calm. The greatest thing people tell me is that I give them greater calm, which is great. And yeah, the rapture people are nuts, aren't they? Aren't they? Yeah. It's, they're like, oh, the world's going to end. It's the end of the world as we know it. I'm like, no, it's not, bitch. Calm down. What's wrong with you? You nuts? Democracy is over. No, motherfucker, it ain't. Understand, this country's been around for 250 years. Do you know what that means? We got 41 months of this fool. 41 months. But we've been around for almost 3,000 months. And if you understand the way our government works, the way the law works, that's why he hadn't been able to do as much as he wanted to do. We really are in a narrative warfare. And the biggest thing you can do to help that is spread word on the shutdown. Because he's trying to convince people that the Democrats shut it down. And legacy media ain't shit. It ain't us. It's them. It's them people. They're the fools. They're the ones starting this crazy stuff, y'all. It ain't us. It's them. They're the ones who want to shut down every kind of medical anything. I mean, think about it. They want to shut down. They want to shut down. This is a whoa moment. They want to shut down hospitals in their own red states. That's what it comes down to. I'm telling you. Anyway, are there any questions? I've said a lot for 90 minutes. Thank you for listening and hearing me out if you've been here most of the time. But what is it that you may have questions about? Hey, thank you, Frank. What do you think? What would you have questions about? What concerns do you have? And then I'm going to leave it at that. Go ahead and start wrapping things up. I'm going to be very multimedia in the future. Because like I said, I got 2 touch screens, 32-inch touch screens, 2 laptops, one with 3 windows on it. I'm about to get really out there. They wanted to guarantee, excuse me, they wanted to guarantee funding of all current policies, essentially having the Democrats say they agree with defunding Medicare PBS, correct. And what we're holding the line on is, wait a minute, motherfucker, we ain't letting go of Medicare. We ain't doing that. That's the main focus right now. You're amazing, Darren. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, thank you. And big thank you to the Clarity Group who allows me to do this stuff because they make it so I can put time into this. Seriously, Lorraine, go to sleep. Not yet. Like me with teaching to stay up with what's happening. Well, thank you. And here's the thing, Miss Hall. Click the link in my profile of YouTube and look under Clarity Group. You should be in there. We need positive, good people. Something Frank Solorzano. Is that Italian, Frank? Is that Italian? Here's the thing. The goal is we want Congress to stay, the Democratic Congress, to stay on point about the fact that if they end the shutdown, lives people die. Seriously. Of course, we need universal health care, Chloe. It's just they don't want to do that. It's not enough in it for them. But we should have. We should have. What they don't realize is that the greatest benefit of having healthy individuals is that they last longer and they could spend more money. But it's a stingy move. It's a stingy move. What, you don't have a med bed? I don't understand. Is that your idea of trolling? Let me know. Good night, everything. One, hey, good night. Thank you for being here. All right. Well, if there's no questions, I'm done. I'm going to wish you all the best. Thank you for being on here. I greatly appreciate you.